Appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello there and welcome to CoreTV News on the Hour with me, Sabena Izuku. A former governor of Kaduna State and leader of the Conference of the Nigerian Political Parties, Balaribu Musa, said on Saturday that the future of Nigeria under President Goodluck Jonathan-led government is gloomy. The former governor noted that the way the country was being governed showed that Jonathan was incapable of running the affairs of Nigeria, arguing that even the president's sympathizers had come to terms with the reality. Musa, who claimed that neither the All Progressive Congress nor the People's Democratic Party could produce the president in 2015, said his party, the People's Redemption Party, though registered by INEC, had gone into merger with other political parties to form the next government. The leader of the CNPP, who is the national chairman of the deregistered People's Redemption Party, spoke to journalists during a meeting with 26 state executive committee members of the party on Saturday in Kaduna State. He said there was no difference between the PDP and the APC, urging Nigerians to reject them as none of the parties were credible enough to take Nigerians to the promised land. He added that the PRP had since instituted legal actions against the Independent National Election Commission for deregistering the party. The All Progressive Congress has strongly condemned the acts of intolerance by Gombe State Governor Ibrahim Hassan Dakwambo, who the party says has been working hard to obliterate the APC presence and also victimize its members in the state. In a statement issued in Lagos on Saturday by its National Publicity Secretary, Lai Mohammed, the party said the governor's actions when he visited Kashari, the hometown of his predecessor, Danjuma Guje, on Thursday, were despicable and barbaric and should be condemned by all right-thinking people. Dakwambo, according to the APC spokesman, personally ordered the removal of all parties' billboards and posters in the town, ordered the police and the army to break into Guje's family home, where they broke down doors, tear gassed and arrested his relations, including children. The APC described as cruel and irony the fact that the PDP, which has been busy criticizing the APC for fielding an old man as a presidential candidate, is home to a man who was born in post-independent Nigeria, but has chosen to behave like a 19th century emperor. Worry over godfatherism in Nigerian politics may not die anytime soon. As politics gathered momentum ahead 2015 general elections, some seasoned politicians have been accused of using their towering influences to position their wards as candidates for various elected positions on the platform of their parties. One of them is the National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressive Congress, Lai Mohammed, who was accused of using his position to ensure that his son, Vladimir, picks the party's ticket as candidate to contest the Lagos House of Assembly elections in 2015. Even though the APC spokesman has repeatedly denied taking advantage of his position for the benefit of his son, it appears there is more to work to be done to convince the majority that Vladimir merited the party's candidacy for the Lagos House of Assembly election. The son of the APC spokesman says he is a man of his own and his emergence on the scene has nothing to do with leveraging on his father's political strength. He also assured Lagosians of total commitment.
It's a double-edged sword. I'm enjoying it, and I'm not enjoying it. Everything is dynamic, it changes. As the issues come, we all tackle it. As the change needs to be, we will implement it. However, right now, what is very peculiar about my situation and my constituency is just one single thing: poverty. And to the best of my ability, I'll try to alleviate it.
UN Secretary Ban Ki-moon has expressed solidarity with government and people of Nigeria, Pakistan and Yemen in their fight against terrorism. Ban Ki-moon, in a message in New York, also expressed his heartfelt condolence to the families of the victims who lost their lives in the terror attacks in the countries. The Secretary General said he was dismayed by and strongly condemned the pattern of attacks against innocent civilians, including women and children, by militant groups and terrorists. There had been appalling killings in Nigeria, Yemen and Pakistan. Perpetrators of the despicable acts of violence, according to the UN, spies must be brought to justice. The United States says it remains committed to helping federal government in tackling the threat of Boko Haram and other extremist organization to the country. This is contained in a statement issued by Public Affairs Department of the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria. It said the U.S. government has also restated its commitment to support Nigeria's efforts to rescue the abducted Chibok girls and all others who have been abducted in various communities. Particularly condemned in the strongest terms the attack of Gumsuri village, Borno, which was reported to have been perpetrated by Boko Haram. It expressed concern that this year alone, Boko Haram had murdered thousands of innocent people in vicious attacks on schools, churches, and mosques. According to a statement, Boko Haram attacks have resulted in displacements of hundreds of thousands of Nigerians. Away from that, the Adamawa Governor Bala Ingilari has presented 2015 budget proposal to the State House of Assembly. The budget, which is over 100 billion naira, was tagged budget of consolidation and hope.
Against the backdrop of the falling oil prices in the international market, which is seriously affecting our share of revenue from the Federation account, it is imperative that we start laying emphasis on the non-oil revenue sectors of our economy as a matter of priority. This will definitely reduce our overdependence on the Federation account. And to actualize this statutory responsibility, we definitely call for collective action plan in identifying additional revenue sources, particularly the untapped ones that the state is not currently enjoying. As a result of this, our Board of Internal Revenue that is saddled with statutory responsibility will be fully supported to act in this direction for full results. Exploitation of our rich mineral deposits will be pursued with vigor.
In his response, Speaker of the State House of Assembly Umaru Fintiri advised the executive arm of government to take internally generated revenue seriously due to the dwindling global prices of oil. He added that the State House of Assembly is doing all it could to block all revenue loopholes. We'll take a short break, and when we return, CoreTV News on the Hour continues. To stay with us.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Welcome back to the news. For more information, you can reach us on the social media platform on facebook.com/CoreTV News and on Twitter @CoreTV News NG, on our YouTube, youtube.com/CoreTV Space and the News. Following the 13-hour talks between the striking oil workers, which culminated in suspension of the recent strike, President Goodluck Jonathan issued a stern warning to organized labor to stop using industrial actions to punish Nigerians. In what appears a direct response to the president's warning, the General Secretary of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Bayo Oluwashile, says the suspended oil workers' strike was surely an issue based on action meant to salvage the people of the country from lingering poverty. Omotayo Law took him up on developments surrounding the suspended strike and brought back this report.
The dwindling global oil prices have more than enough exposed the underbelly in the Nigerian economy, which is largely dependent on oil. The nation has over time been bedeviled with unceasing strikes which most often than necessary leave the people suffering over fuel scarcity. The Pangasan chieftain Bayo Oluwashile admitted that the effect of strike on the people is painful, but it is a necessary evil that must produce good fruit. He rubbishes claim that the strikes are used to pursue selfish agenda.
Because we are not always on the streets, we allow our issues to build up. We've been having a lot of discussions, and there are communiques to back them up with the government on various issues affecting the industry. And on this year alone, we've had about 6 various meetings. And we had expected that within certain timelines that we have set for ourselves, some of the issues will have been resolved. But we discovered that we are going into 2015 still carrying the same burden of challenges. And the industry is crying, bleeding on some of them.
What really is a problem in the industry?
Even Nigerians know that the industry is sick. And there are a lot of national questions around why things are not working here. When you look at the other sectors that are less important, and they are getting quite a lot of attention. So, and they know that the real drivers of the economy is the oil and gas sector. Look at the various state governments. They are saying that their revenue is being dwindling and they are unable to meet their developmental challenges. And all this money is also coming from the oil and gas thing. And they can also see very clearly, without anybody telling you, that prices of crude oil drop is already affecting how our budget is going to be managed and how government is really going to drive the nation come 2015.
Oluwashile advised Nigerians to stop looking at the oil industry workers as enemies of the country instead of playing politics with the issues at hand.
So these are not things that people should begin to fathom, things that really that are not as significant as these major areas of concern. So we believe strongly that we should not take trivial issues to becloud bigger pictures that affect the industry.
The problem, according to the Pangasan, time will obviously snowball into other sectors of the economy because of the large reliance on oil.
Up to today, Nigerians can see that we are almost totally dependent on importation of petroleum products, whereas we are selling our goods at any price that the international community is dictating it. And we can also begin to look inward and say that, can we have our means of optimizing the benefit of hydrocarbon resources by having our own strategies, just like other countries like Ghana and the rest of them have been able to minimize their dependence. Small countries that are producing just about 18,000 barrels or 30,000 barrels per day are doing better.
So where do we go from here?
And the more we talk about these things, the more we are able to find a solution to our problem. And because we are keeping quiet, because those that are supposed to lead in this discussion and be able to initiate directions are not reaching out, and we are getting worried. If we keep quiet, before you know it, everybody will lose their job and there will be no hope.
The nation will, in the face of continuous downward slide in the prices of oil, battle for solutions including resorting to the non-oil producing sector as austerity measures take shape.
Despite the suspension of the 3-day warning strike by oil workers early Friday, commuters in Ekiti State are still agonizing over fuel scarcity. The situation is getting worse, especially in Ado. Long queues at petrol stations have become the order of the day. Now, the motorists and commuters have accused petrol stations owners of hoarding fuel. For their part, the petrol stations owners are blaming the crash of the naira at the foreign market for impediment in the importation of the product. Rashid monitored the situation in Ado-Ekiti and filed in this report.
As the Yuletide season draws near, businesses as usual are expected to record bumper sales. For petrol stations across the country, the 3-day oil workers' warning strike suspended on Friday had positioned them for naira harvest, as scarcity of the product always comes with inflated cost. This was the experience in places like Abuja, Kaduna, Nasarawa, and some states across the Federation. The ongoing fuel scarcity in Ekiti, however, leaves much to be desired, especially ahead of the Yuletide. In Ado-Ekiti, the Ekiti state capital, many filling stations are under lock and key, while the few that have opened for business are either not selling or dispensing the product amidst long queues, leaving consumers in agony. Tempers flare as commuters and consumers of the product in Ekiti accuse fuel dealers of hoarding.
Na Ekiti states, na only Ekiti states. The other states, where did the other states? It did Akure, it did Osun State, it did Lagos State. But now Ekiti generally no fuel.
We are not hoarding fuel. If we have fuel, we sell it. If we don't have, we don't have. That's for our own station.
So, what then is the reason for the ongoing scarcity of the product in Ekiti after the oil worker strike has suspended?
The landing cost of the fuel now is high. So for the stations to buy at the higher price, pay for the transport of 7 naira and bought the fuel for 91 naira 50 kobo to make it 99 naira or 98 naira 50 kobo. And people who expect you to sell it at the rate of 97 naira, they found it very, very difficult. So nobody is doing his business to run at loss.
The development has left many commuters who are traveling for the Christmas celebration stranded at motor parks across the state capital.
I guess there's no fuel or something. I don't know what's happening.
And what do you feel like is the problem?
I guess Ekiti generally has a problem because I don't know why there's no fuel, why there's fuel in Lagos. I don't know their problem.
Now
Now I can't wait for me to just get to Lagos.
Obviously, there is the expected price to pay as transport fares have shot up, leaving commuters with many more complaints and bitterness.
Expecting it to be like 1,250. Suddenly we are hearing 2,000 naira. And it's not really good by us. We are not liking that actually.
But even if you have a vehicle now, which is going to take 2,000 from you, will you?
No choice, because I got to get my house, get to Lagos actually.
And for the Ekiti people, it appears that tough times are beginning to surface even as the belt tightening measures as a result of the dwindling oil prices lurk in the corner. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
Governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, who famously won his election last June by distributing stomach infrastructure to voters, has carried out his policy into the Christmas season. Between Thursday and Saturday, he had distributed over 80,000 birds and 100,000 bags of rice to Ekiti citizens, according to the state from his press office. He also doled out cash, according to his chief press secretary, Idowu Adelushi. While some besieged the governor's office to collect the large, others had theirs delivered to the doorstep. On Saturday, as early as 10 a.m., Fayose and his team started distributing the package to the people who kept steaming into his office. He later moved to the marketplaces with same package, designating all the 16 local government areas as centers for the distribution. Fayose told journalists that what takes priority in his heart daily is the welfare of the people of the state. Asked why he gave out cash, he said the need to buy pepper, salt, Maggi, palm oil, etc. to cook the chicken. Those who benefited are widows, aged, pensioners, traders and artisans. He said the exercise will continue till the Christmas day, and that teachers will take their turn on Monday. Fayose pointed to special aid on stomach infrastructure when he assumes office. Rand dealers at the popular Kara markets on the outskirts of Lagos have blamed the rise in the cost of livestock to the Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast part of the country. They spoke against the backdrop of complaints by Nigerians over spiral rise in the cost of food stuffs ahead Christmas.
Market no move at all. Everything dey silent. Every people they talk about money. Then they talk about politician. They don't release anything. So everything dey tight. And Boko Haram they cost everything. Because everything where they come from north, they high.
This year market they fine. But we dey think say market they move because since now market is not full market. So anybody where you want come buy, make you quick come buy market.
It's moving gradually, but people have not been coming in so much as we're supposed to expect. It's better the government should see something to do to it because due to the messes, people are complaining so much.
Let's take another break, and when we return this time, we'll take you outside Nigeria all the way to China.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
Welcome back to the news. And outside Nigeria, Chinese President Xi Jinping warned Hong Kong and Macau on Saturday to remember they are part of one China as pro-democracy. Campaigners in both semi-autonomous territories called for free leadership election. Security had been tight during Xi's 2 days visit to Macau to mark the 15th anniversary of gambling hub's handover from Portugal, just days after police cleared the last remaining protest sites in neighboring Hong Kong. Reporters on the airport tarmac waiting for Xi's arrival in Macau were not allowed to hold umbrellas, the symbol of Hong Kong's pro-democracy movement, and were handed raincoats instead. A small group of protesters had also attempted to walk to where the Chinese president was staying while holding yellow umbrellas. Police, however, stopped them, saying the area was restricted. The president warned both territories on Saturday against a misguided approach. Similar discontent over corruption and social inequality partly underpins the Hong Kong movement. Macau is the only part of China where casino gambling is legal and has until now depended on high rollers from the mainland. And that's it on the news on the hour. Do join us at the top of the hour for more. I am Savannah Zoku, and thank you very much indeed for watching.